feeling really confused about what directions to take next. Corona's happened and it's humbled a lot of us. Well, I started finding myself struggling financially, but like a part of me was like just questioning my decision making and should I have left my job? Could I have been doing this on the side? And I've also discovered another thing about myself, which is there is Mo the producer, but there's also Mo the content creator. Marry me to go. Some lip glossing. Hi guys, once again, welcome to Mochunkstv. And welcome to another installment of Chit Chat with Mo. Hi guys, welcome to Mochunkstv and welcome to another installment of Chit Chat with Mo. Okay, so like I said, just remind you guys, eventually this is going to be one full podcast show called The Mochunk Show, but for now we're still splitting it. Welcome to another installment of Chit Chat with Mo, where we talk about controversial debates, have honest conversation and so much more. So this is just a very honest conversation from me to you about, you know, how I've been feeling lately, about life, about my career, and about purpose, guys. I've just been generally feeling really lost. I'm feeling really confused about what directions to take next in life. Corona's happened and it's humbled a lot of us. It's removed some degree, some ideas of what, you know, we had in mind of what this year was going to be like, who we thought we were and who we thought we wanted to be. I've been feeling really lost. And I keep saying that because that's the only way I can articulate it. And I guess my question to you guys as well, as we go on, have you ever felt lost? Have you ever felt stuck on your road moving forward? You know you can't go back. You know you have to keep moving forward, but you don't know where to. And what are the things you do to gain clarity? And what are the things you do to push past that feeling of confusion so you can still get the work done? So you guys just let me know as you listen down below. So lately I've just been feeling like, have I made the wrong decision in terms of what direction I wanted to take in life? Even pre-corona, I began to experience some slowing down in my business. It's really funny because I shared my testimony video of 2019 and how I'd experienced abundance and provision, and you know the business had gone up, and especially in December so much was going on. I believe every shoot that I had in December was 4 figures and maybe like just extra like 3-figure jobs, so it was looking really good. And I remember just feeling very fearful. I had this feeling that, oh Mo, you need to save this money, there's going to be, you know, like a season coming where literally what I heard was a season of famine, and I was kind of like, I rebuke that. My God is a God of abundance. I won't get to a peak and then go down. So when my business started going down in Jan, it was like, oh, maybe that voice was right. But I kept keeping the faith. But of course I had rent to pay for both where I was living at the time and also my studio space. And I'd never struggled up until that point to pay. Like in 2019, when I tell you it was a really good year, well, I started finding myself struggling financially. Thank God I had the surplus in December to cover the months where things were not so great. But there was coming a time where things were starting to run out and I was getting really panicky. And I remember actually from the beginning of Jan, I kept having this feeling to get a job. I shared it with my friends and I would be saying to them, I feel like I should get a job. But I feel like if I do that, it kind of kills the point of what I made in my video last year that I just released at the beginning of this year, which is to step out in faith and do what God has called you. If I get a job, doesn't that mean I'm going back on my own word? But I keep having this feeling that I need that security. But I ignored it. And of course, Corona happened. And you guys know that, you know, freelancers, it's been a tiny bit harder for us to get access to funding than somebody who had a job and now they're on furlough. I don't know whether the furlough funds have been released. It seems like it's more straightforward to go on furlough than to apply for something as a freelancer. I literally heard of people that started jobs in like Jan, Feb, March, and now they're on furlough and they're still like, they're okay. Like it's not what they were earning before, but they're all right. I had serious moments of anxiety, guys. How am I going to cope? How am I going to survive? I did get like a part-time role quite briefly and that was quite helpful, but eventually I had to step out of that because it just wasn't, in terms of how much time I could give to the job, it was a bit much for me. So I left, and then I was feeling very lost again, because it's like, okay, I've left now. How am I going to cope? How am I going to survive? And then it made me think about MCTV and where I really wanted to take it. And I was looking at, really and truly, it hasn't been my bread and butter. Like, it's, brought in that extra at the end of the month, but it hasn't been like what's been filling up my bank account. I know it will one day, but like a part of me was like just questioning my decision making, and should I have left my job? Could I have been doing this on the side rather than making it my full-time thing and the thing that I really want to commit myself and my time to? Could I have been juggling a bit better? Could I have been earning and made so much money that I can pay someone to do my editing? Did I really have to go all in? So I was feeling really I feel like I made the wrong decision. And then I had a conversation with my mom that made it so much worse. She must have called me randomly and was speaking about my life, my future. And she was like, Mo, like, I'm not saying don't follow your passion, but right now you need something that's going to help you sustain. And it was really hard, like, hearing that she had a point. There was some truth to what she was saying, especially in the season where, like, I couldn't really run my business. I mean, I had a shoot just recently, and hopefully lockdown rules will be closing soon. But she was saying, why don't you get something stable and just do this on the side? But it was like the thought of putting this on the side, it's like, no, like, that's my baby. But also, I've been listening to different people's success stories. You guys know that I love anything that alludes to my Nigerian culture. So I'm looking at the Helen Pauls and even the Oprah Winfreys, and I realized that something that's quite common, a common theme in their journeys, is that they all worked. They all served for a season. They all worked under somebody before they became their own boss. It was making me question, had I made this decision to become my own boss, quote unquote, on too soon? Could I have been a bit more strategic and logical in the way I handle things? But then it's like logic sometimes doesn't coincide with faith and just going all in. So I was really like, God, I trust you and I have faith in you, but should I be a bit more logical? Should I be a bit more smarter in the moves I'm making? Financially, I'm now 24, and I look back at the moment I graduated. I graduated in medical physiology, and I was considering going on to be trained as a healthcare scientist. That would take me for a program called the Scientist Training Program, which lasts about 3 years. And if at 19, 20, even 21, I made the decision to go on to do that, I would have been done by now. And it's kind of like I had those feelings of like regret as to, okay, maybe I could have done that and then hired someone to do the behind the scenes for me, the editing and all the stuff that I always say that I need time to do. But I remember just speaking to different people, and they were like, don't feel like that, like, it's never too late. One massive plus with going all in and taking the plunge and doing things for myself is that I've created a structure, I've created a system. I know how I want this to run. I've gained more clarity over the years about what this is. And I've been kind of being open to like how other people are doing it, how other creators are doing it in terms of adulting, and actually trying to find a new place really opened my eyes to how the world doesn't favor creatives. The minute you mention you're creative, you're a freelancer to a landlord, they're like, I need to see some stable income. I need to see some secure income. I need some employment. But it's like, I am employed. I am self-employed. But some people, it's like, nah. So the world doesn't really favor following your dreams and being a dreamer and having faith that somehow you're going to magically pay your rent. You need to see that security blanket. But there's a wisdom in how to handle that. Like, I've been seeing other YouTubers, and I'm like, oh wow, like, she has a full-time job. She doesn't do this full-time. Like, she's still earning money from it. There's a way to navigate the transition season before it becomes your bread and butter. And I think that's what I'm learning in this season. I'm learning to be sensible, open, and patient with that. And it doesn't mean necessarily a lack of faith. It sometimes just means being strategic. I have the faith that I'm going to get there, but I also need to be sensible with how I manage my life and my finances on the way there. Something else that I've been feeling lost about is, what is this? You'd be shocked by that. Like, I've been like, what is this? I'm passionate about media, yes. I'm purposeful in teaching, yes. But what is this? Quarantine has brought out another side of me that I feel like has been buried for so long. Quarantine has made me realize that I have my own voice and I'm powerful enough on my own. And actually that I was using having co-host all the time as like a crutch, and not allowing my own voice to be heard. And whilst having guests and other people on the show is not something I'm opposed to for the future, but actually understanding that there's a magic on the inside of you that people are attracted to. You've built this channel solo for about 3 years now, and you've been growing, and you didn't necessarily need other voices to grow even further. And guys, the amount of growth that I've experienced in this time, in this season of quarantine, when it's just been me, and I know some people haven't been happy with the decision that I've made, but honestly, when I look at things like the numbers do not lie, guys. The year that I had other co-hosts, and this is not me like ever slating them, I loved having co-hosts on the show. I loved having the banter. I loved that. But there's also the side that you guys didn't see, where there was an internal battle within myself, where the real decisions for why I had co-hosts was because, things were happening. I was saying all the wrong things at the time. I didn't trust my voice anymore. I didn't trust my mindset anymore. I didn't trust me. And I felt like I needed other people to kind of, protect me a tiny bit. And in the year that I made that decision, the channel growth was really slow, We're stuck on 14K for so long. Time I did the show by myself or started having more lengthier conversations by myself, I've seen a growth of well over 1,000. So it's this, I was stuck at this tunnel for so long. I thought, let me bring other people on. It didn't really have that effect, but it wasn't until the time that I got back to the start, back to the original blueprint where it was just myself, we started experiencing some growth. And I've also discovered another thing about myself, which is there is Mo the producer, but there's also Mo the content creator. I know some of you guys have been saying, oh my God, the vlogs are back. And that's why some of you came to this channel in the first place. And sometimes I'm opposed to putting vlogs on this channel. I'm opposed to putting everyday lifestyle stuff on this channel because I just feel like there's so much going on. But the vision for MCTV is that it's a multi-series platform. But what I'm thinking of as well is there is also Mo the content creator, where she makes random content that isn't necessarily too thought out. It's just regular content creator, YouTuber style content. You guys liked when I styled my hair. You guys love the vlogs. You guys like when I talk about weight loss, what I eat in a day. Those kind of videos. Random, everyday lifestyle, hair and beauty, fashion. Oh my God, the fashion has been lost on this channel for a long time because I've developed Mo the producer for so long, doing different talk shows and productions, that I forgot about Mo the content creator, Mo the girl that likes to style her hair and teach people about natural hair, Mo that likes to dress up nicely and do lookbooks. Those of you that have been riding with me for the longest time will know all about this, but it's why can't I do both? I really cannot wait to jump into that, guys, because there's another side of me that goes beyond discussing trending topics and creating shows that don't necessarily have me as the forefront of it. So yeah, guys, I've been feeling lost, but the beauty about feeling lost is that eventually there's clarity. And this is the part of the show now where I'm going to go into my word of the week. And it's that sometimes all it takes is not necessarily moving forward or backwards, but actually taking a pause and resting, which was what last week was for me. There was so much chaos going on in my life that I just had to take a pause. I had to take a breather. I had to try and understand what was going on. I think sometimes we don't want to confront those confusing feelings because it's uncomfortable. Let's be realistic, it's very uncomfortable. But facing it head on has helped me in many moments bring clarity to whatever the confusion is. It's kind of there's a web of information, there's a web of so many things going on, and you kind of have to sit with it and begin to unpack and unpick the different elements of what you're being faced with, and eventually you get clarity. Whew. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not going to say that I completely feel clear about everything, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to take that first step and see where it takes me. So yeah, guys, I like to give you guys these updates and let you into what's been happening in my mind as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you like if you liked it. Do comment down below on the things I spoke about and subscribe to this channel for more. Until next time, guys, peace and love. Peace and chunks.